Like, things didn't quite go to plan tonight, obviously, but good news is that Australia still qualified for the semi-finals, which must be pleasing.
Very pleasing that we have qualified for the semi-finals. That was the plan, to somehow work our way through into the semi-finals. But yeah, it was a disappointing performance really tonight. I thought the Pakistanis played an unbelievably good game. That's probably as best they can possibly play. And we were definitely down a little bit on where we have been so far in this tournament. So, you know, luckily for us, we're still through to the semi-finals. That's the main thing. But we certainly have to lift our game up if we're going to win our semi-final.
Do you think the tactic of bowling first tonight was a good move, or do you think that's something that might need to be looked at heading into the semi-finals? Obviously, it looked difficult batting second, the pitch breaking up a bit more.
No, I don't think the pitch changed a hell of a lot throughout the game. And no, the tactic's been working well for us throughout the whole tournament, so there's no reason to really flirt with our form in that respect. We've been doing it well. The batsmen like chasing, but I think we just came up against a better team today. Pakistan played a brilliant match. And I think if we had a batted first or second, I think, you know, on tonight's performance, the result would have been the same.
They certainly threw the spinners at you, so to speak. I think 5 or 6 spinners and just Umar Gul bowling pace. Did you expect that leading into the game?
I might have expected one more seamer, but no, we were expecting a lot of spin to be bowled. But you know, it's what we have been expecting. You know, as we get to this end of the tournament, the pitches are going to get slower, they're going to get lower, and they probably are going to take more turn as the tournament progresses. It's just, there's a lot of games being played on the pitch, and so that's just what we're expecting. Tonight, Pakistan bowled very well, and they had us under a lot of pressure. They were able to get consistent wickets, which means the new batsmen had to come in and try and get going, you know, straight away, which is always going to be difficult. So what we need to do is make sure that when we get a partnership together, we build that partnership as big as we can. And once you're in and set on that sort of pitch, then you can score a lot more freely.
On that wicket, did you think 149 that Pakistan got was about par, or did you think they'd maybe exceeded on that wicket?
No, I think it's probably about a par score. But they bowled and fielded brilliantly tonight. We were probably a little bit below par in our fielding department, and obviously we lost too many wickets. It sort of shows, you know, that Shane Watson and Davey Warner are really important to our team. If they can get us off to that good flying start, then it sort of does take the pressure off the rest of the batting order, no question about that. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get runs tonight, but hopefully they're saving a few more up for the semi-finals.
Mike, coming up against the West Indies in the semi-final, they pose a pretty decent threat, plenty of firepower in that order, as we've already seen in this tournament.
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing about the West Indies. They've got so many match winners in there. So, you know, they don't rely heavily on just one player, although I think in the batting department, Chris Gale is a huge wicket for us to get cheaply. But they've got very dangerous batsmen all the way down. So, you know, it's going to be a tough game. No question about that. It's a semi-final, so there's a lot of pressure on. But I'm confident, you know, if we can play our best brand of cricket, I think we can definitely beat the West Indies in the semi-final.
They've got a fairly good crop of spinners as well. You had a good look at Sunny Noreen earlier this year in the West Indies. Do you think they're going to again come at you hard with their spin bowling attack?
Probably. They've probably got a bit more seam options as well in their attack, so they probably won't have as many spin options as what Pakistan did. But I'm sure, yeah, at this end of the tournament, spin has been playing a pretty big part. Noreen is a key bowler for them, and we're going to have to play him well. I think it's important if two guys can get together, we can really try and milk him for as many as we can through that middle period. It's going to be really important. If we can just take him for 6 or 7 runs and over, I think we're doing a great job as long as he's not taking wickets and getting a crack at new batsmen.
Our bowlers are going to have a really important role to play in getting those, as you said, the key wickets early, the Gales and, you know, the Samuels and the Pollards. They've got a good, strong batting lineup, don't they? Yeah,
they've got a very good batting order, and they've got some guys in there that complement the strikers and the strike power quite well as well. But we're very well planned against all teams, but particularly against the West Indies as well. And you know, they got a pretty big score against us last time, so we're going to have to make sure we execute our plans very well to make sure we can keep them to a smaller target than we did last time. I think they got over 190 last time, although the conditions were pretty good for batting.